Hi, this is a foreigner living in the Philippines, and we're here looking at the house of the paralyzed man, as it's become known. The paralyzed man was being counseled and comforted by Pastor Timio at the end of his days. We got involved in this before he died. Nobody knew he was going to die, but he was already bedridden, paralyzed, in the most wretched conditions. Beth and I first thought, well, maybe we could just buy him a bed at least, you know, but before that could happen, the man died and left his family and this house, which is falling down. They live in pitiful conditions, but we're going to go in now and look and hope that this particular camera that we're on right now will show you what the story is. So here's Pastor Timio, and the lady is the mother of the family. Shall we go in?
Yeah. So kami, so
Who is this?
the
Who is
daughter.
this lady?
Yeah, it's a daughter.
And their name?
Alma.
Alma. Hi, Alma. And who is this one? I forget.
Yeah, it's great.
We used to take to school, to church. Why don't you go to church now? No church. And you too. Okay, so you can't see very much, but
Yeah.
for what you can see, this was the room that the
The bed.
paralyzed man died in.
Yeah. In that area there. That's their
It's
kitchen.
just a dirt. It's just a dirt floor. There's no wall. There's no side to the house. It's
Yeah, and then there's a lot of hole. You can see there, a lot of hole in the rain. You cannot count how many.
more.
Yeah.
It would be more accurate to say that there is no house.
And that's their dirty kitchen out there.
So there's the kitchen, such as it is.
And then there's a bed there.
And the bed, and it's just a rough, swept, hard-packed floor. Really quite pitiful. I don't know how they're managing to live, and yet they can still smile when you come, and they just have canvas up. And this is
It's just that.
this is the wall.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't a piece of canvas. It's a wall. So our
Do you have a
hope is-
second floor? We can go up there.
Our hope is that we'll be able to raise enough money to be able to probably knock this down and build them a small functional house similar to what we built for Desiree, and gulping to get air because they're cooking on an open fire and there's no ventilation, even though the whole thing is wide open. So this above the paralyzed man's bedroom is another room, which is another bedroom.
Yeah, just the room there. Yeah, that's all.
So obviously I'm not coming in there because I've still got my boots on, and okay, why don't we go outside that way?
Yeah, okay.
Put your head on.
Susan, that's one of the daughter.
So this is the house, such as it is. Is this another bedroom here, I'm guessing?
Yeah, it's their washing area. All
So our idea is to find some way, I mean, even though it is pitiful, this is where people live, this is their home, and it's difficult to come up with a plan where we can actually start building and transfer them into a half-finished building and then knock the rest down and do what has to be done. This is not as simple a job as Desiree, and after we finished here, the other house that you saw, which had the lady and the little girls, we've come to know that as the Three Little Girls house, and that would be the next one. If there's any left over from the Paralyzed man's house, then it will go to the Three Little Girls, and that's a simpler job. The Three Little Girls is a simpler job than the Paralyzed man. We're going to need some resources. It's easy to just say, well, that's their country. There's all kinds of disclaimers and denial and all of that. Beth and I are not interested in any of that. We're not interested in any justifications. We're not interested in any reasoning. I know all about if you give a man a fish, you'll feed him for the day, and if you teach him how to fish, then you'll feed him for his life. I know about all of those. We're here on the ground to help now. I don't want to see this little girl. I don't want to see this little girl live in that house for any longer. This little girl is a victim of a broken marriage, and she's being sheltered by the grandmother, and that's what we're just trying to help. We're not trying to work anything out. We're not trying to change people's lives in any lasting way other than to give them somewhere to live, and that's what we're trying to do, and that's what we did with Desiree. We didn't go in and tell her, well, she better do this and she better do that. We went in and we gave her somewhere to live where she can actually start to lift her head up and see that there is some hope. Okay, so we're just going to look around now, and we're going to find out what we can do. Pastor Timio has been talking to the mother. It's a complex dynamic, because you can't just go in, even though people have nothing, they have some sense of ownership, some sense of pride, and they don't want to be walked over. They want to be respected. This lady is the mother.
yeah, that's the wife.
This is the wife of the paralyzed man, and we're going to try to help her with your help. Yes? Okay, so we're going to leave it now. We hope that you'll think about these people, think about how they're having to live, and you can always send any help. You can specify whether you want the help to go to the Three Little Girls or to the Paralyzed man.
Yeah, that's the Paralyzed man's house, and then that's the Three Girls, which is the next after.
Yes. See, so that's our project down here for Project House Repair, and that's our next project. Is we have other little projects that are going on. Manarado's project is going on, and we've got Nanai's project going on. But anything that you've seen in any of the videos, you can send money to go to that person.